Good times, huh?
Mm-hmm. Hi, Brian.
Oh shoot! I didn't say anything inappropriate, did I?
Yeah.
Stop.
Welcome to the Awkward Side Hug podcast. I'm here with the pillow that tried to end my podcast career last time.
The pillow's like, I'm about to end this whole man's career.
Here with Lex, Steven. They did an episode last week without me. They did a great job. Haven't watched it yet, but we have some polls. We're gonna get some polls going first, and then we're gonna get the ball rolling. So, who's got the polls?
First poll. Is the first one we're gonna discuss is the kiss on the first date poll, actually. So we asked the fourth mic, you guys, yes or no, kiss on the first date, and we had 78% say yes and 22% say no, and that was like yeah. So
All right.
So
all right,
Brian,
next one. I'm just kidding.
do you kiss on the first date?
Yeah.
Bro, Brian just had like a Vietnam flashback. What about you?
Yeah, well, it depends on how it's going.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it depends on the atmosphere, right?
Mm-hmm.
It depends on how you feel. If you feel confident enough that if you go in, you're gonna, get that 50% return, or what is it, like 60-40? I don't know how.
It's supposed to be 80-20.
I don't know what it is
think.
nowadays.
It was
80-20 seems a little too aggressive. Like,
I go 110%.
That's.
so
I don't think it's legal.
I think there's a movement that's against that. So.
Oh man. Yeah. So. Yeah, like that's I guess if you had to give a definite answer, like the fourth mic had to give a definite answer, right? There was no maybe or it depends option.
Mhm.
Like I would say yes.
Yeah, I would say yes too.
I would say yes.
All
right. So
that was easy.
Second poll.
Second poll was, and this is actually a pretty good one. It is football. If you had to choose one, American football or football, soccer. And 55% chose American football, 45% chose soccer. And that was a crazy one because I think it was like I forget what the number was, like 5-4, or it was like a really close vote. And I was like, man, I was surprised it was that close.
This seems like one of those things where I'm about to speak and then we're gonna have to put like several minutes later ... and it's gonna be finishing my thoughts on this.
Yeah.
So obviously I'd say, like, if you're gonna ask like early 20s Brian, obviously it's American football, but I remember I got super hyped for the United States in the World Cup about 2 World Cups ago.
Yeah.
It wasn't the last World Cup.
It was like 2. Oh no.
we were there, pal. But it's funny because like I just watched, so breaking the fourth wall, we're recording this on a Thursday. I just watched the LAFC versus LA Galaxy game and it was dope. It was intense. LAFC won 5-3.
5-3, yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say 5-4, but it was 5-3.
So I have a question. Those semifinal, because it said it was a semifinal game, right?
Western Conference semis. So it's kind of like how the NBA does that.
Is it a one game or is it a aggregate or?
So it used to be an aggregate. This is the first year where they're doing every playoff game as a single
one
elimination.
and done.
Oh wow.
Okay.
So it's one and done.
Right.
So the LAFC plays Seattle, I want to say next Wednesday. So by the next podcast, unless I have taken on a mental health day, is the next podcast I'll either be pretty happy or sad because I'm super invested in LAFC, and I wore the jersey a few episodes ago, and
it's a white one, right?
yeah, and
It's the Dwight one.
it's funny because it makes me it's so this is my half beef with the jersey too is in Diamante's rookie season with not rookie season but his first season with LAFC.
Yeah.
His jersey just said Dio on the back, and it's kind of cool because the jersey says inaugural season on it. And stuff
Oh,
like that.
nice. Yeah.
But for the second season, he went with his full name, Diamante. So
Diamante,
now it
yeah.
kind of looks like I have this bootleg jersey for fans who are probably just getting into the team and don't know that he had a different jersey or a different last name for last season. See, I was tell it several minutes later. But if we're gonna ask about something that because I don't know, maybe because it helps that it's only a 16-week season for both cases, roughly 16 to 17 weeks plus playoffs. Is I'm super into fantasy football, and also I'm super into college football. So like for the fall, I'm super obsessed with American football. But it's kind of interesting because the MLS season, I know, like the Premier League is going on and stuff like that. It starts like in August or September. Or something like that. But the MLS season starts 2 months after, or roughly a month after the Super Bowl. So it's kind of like I thought about this because Lex brings this up a lot. He always asks me kind of to rank my favorite teams, and my favorite team is obviously the Clippers first, but what makes it, I guess, easy for me is I could root for all these teams like they're my number one team seasonally. And the only team that I feel like kind of loses out on that because it's always in the mix of other seasons is the Padres, because the Padres season always starts when the Clippers are either going to miss the playoffs or lose out in the second round. So I get super obsessed with the Clippers, and by the time I get back invested into the Padres, I'm already on fantasy football and like the Rams and USC. And so to answer your question, I like both, but I guess I had to go with American football.
That's awesome. That was a hard one. Yeah.
We're gonna wrap up this episode in 40 minutes, or
we splice in the clip from the pre-show. Hey, can we keep this in 20?
I don't know how I compete with that. That was pretty.
What would you say, Steven?
Was this missing from last week's episode? Or?
So
yeah, I know, right?
I don't know. Things feel a little serious right now. So, as far as American football goes, I'd probably choose American football. I don't follow MLS or like Premier League or any of the actual leagues. When it comes to international play, though, I do enjoy watching like the World Cup or the Gold Cup. The Champions League is pretty good though, because when all the leagues intertwine.
The only hard part about the Champions League for us is that they're always at like 11 a.m. and stuff. I haven't looked in 3 years, so I guess I can.
I mean, because I like seeing that, but other than that, I mean, I don't really follow soccer too much, so I would say it would be American football, and then baseball, like.
That wasn't part of the question. I don't know.
Oh, that's what. Okay, so it's okay for Brian to go into Padres and Clippers, but I have to stay on topic. My bad.
You see Steven walk out right now?
Can you take another day off? How many sick hours do you have?
I don't know how many PTO awkward side hug offers.
Yeah. He only has like 6 more hours left.
I have like a hair, just like it's just like on the side.
So for you guys at home. Brian took off last week's episode to get cleaned up. If you see his like mustache or
looking
whatever
fresh.
the sidebars are here, they're lined up, and then if Brian can do a 90-degree turn of his head, you'll see his line up there is.
Ooh, man,
look at that. We like to call organic, or in other words, fresh.
Man, Brian took a sick day just to go to the barbershop real quick.
Yeah, man.
He got cleaned up nice, fam. Look at that.
So, and I don't know if that's the Riff Raff shirt that he has on right now.
No, it's not.
No, okay. I thought we could have hit a grand slam there.
Are we? If you guys don't mind me like creating a mess by getting up and stuff like that, I could go grab the Riff Raff shirt.
Can you grab the Riff Raff shirt, please? Yes. Please grab the Riff Raff shirt.
That's my yoga thing.
It's really hard to tell the depth in Brian's room.
It's like an Indian flag yoga mat. What is it?
Well, he did go to Zion.
Is that- He
So.
pillaged to Jerusalem.
Come on, man.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm just saying a bunch of things.
All right.
Oh.
And we're not gonna get through all the questions today.
Yeah.
So this is it.
Oh, look at it.
There it is. Can you put the
Wow.
signature up to the camera?
Let's see the signature. It's all
Put the-
faded.
Yeah,
but
get the signature up there.
Well, it's right here.
thumbnail.
And some of it's faded off. According to Rick Harrison, it's not worth much. Look how tattered the
Day tattered.
This is this,
And-
and then look how open
the one
the
with the-
sides got.
That's the arm part. Do the arm part again.
It's become a stringer tank top,
Yeah.
the bodybuilding tank top now.
Yeah, the bodybuilder.
Like, I don't wear it too often. I only like if I'm having a bad laundry day, I'll throw this guy on. Like when you get to the bottom, that's it.
Damn, that's the bottom. Holy crap,
This is the Riff Rifter. I still keep it.
man!
There might be a point where this might just become fabric, but I'll try to keep this part of it.
You'll still keep it.
That was a memorable night, though.
Yeah, it's gonna end up being like a Jeff Hardy, just like pullover shirt.
Because it's funny. I remember somebody, when I first did this, somebody told me like, "Hey, you need to hold on to that. That's worth probably hundreds of dollars." But I was like,
Riff Raff, really?
this undershirt probably cost me like $3 to $4, and I wasn't gonna take my chances, so I kept using it as an undershirt.
But I mean, you do have, I was gonna say you do have the evidence that it was signed by him. So,
Yeah. Oh,
Right.
yeah. That's
but I
Or-
don't know what his autograph's worth.
This looks like it'd also be signed by Finn Balor. That's what it looks like.
Finn Balor.
It's Finn Balor.
Why can I be both?
Why can't I do both?
Oh,
should
man.
we explain that? No, why can't we do why can't I?
I don't think we should.
Well, it's not actually bad.
It was
Okay, I'll explain it. I think I can explain it kind of.
Okay, yeah. Do
All
it.
right.
If you can stay within the time frame.
Okay. So a couple WrestleManias ago, Finn Balor. So if you don't know, he's a wrestler, and he would sometimes come out as the Demon King, and it was his. So whenever he had huge matches, he would come out as a Demon King. I feel like I'm not centered anymore. All right. So when so we were expecting him to come out as a Demon King, but instead for this WrestleMania, he did this Pride thing where like everybody's included, which was really cool. It was very nice. It was to promote like the gay community and stuff like that. I was
The
gonna
LGBTQ community.
I was gonna throw out the initials, but I was like, I'm gonna screw it up.
You're here to see him in reverse and like add a few.
Yeah, and then I would get in trouble for that. So
Brian gets canceled.
But I was like, oh, that's really dope. But we were like, that's interesting that he's not the Demon King either. And then so we were pretending that he was the backstage discussing his entrance with the WWE producers, and they're like, hey, you should go out and do this Pride thing.
Because he had the shirt on, right?
Right. And it was a really cool jacket. It was like a rainbow version of his logo. And we all wanted to buy one.
Yeah, that shirt's dope.
And he's like, "Why?" I was like, "Well, why can't I do the Demon King?" And then and they're like, "No, you gotta do this Pride thing." And then we're like, and then Finn Balor's like, "Why can't I do both?"
Why can I do both?
So imagine like super prided out as the Demon King. That would have been.
That would.
And this is like a hypothetical like joke conversation that we built up, and like so basically as if you haven't been able to tell 8 episodes in, Steven, Brian, and I, we literally, like most best friends, we literally communicate in inside jokes. And so I noticed, like, thankfully, like over the past 2 episodes, like last episode and then this episode so far, we're doing a lot better of a job at like when we do an inside joke, we're like, oh, let me explain it, like for
Yeah.
example, like we explained the Riff Raff one last time, and then we're explaining the Finn Balor. So yeah, so that's one of those inside jokes.
All right. I think we. Not that we have to lightning round, not that we have to lightning round the rest of the episode.
Yeah,
but
let's get to it. Okay, let's do it. Yeah. Okay, so next thing.
Is
So yeah, so this is episode 8. So that's that. And then actually everyone got that right. 5 people got that right. So that was the quiz, episode 8. The next thing after that was
this just goes back to what we said last episode where we
The
don't
pre-show?
follow the timeline.
yeah.
And so like Lex in the pre-show or in the pre-production he said, "Oh, we don't need to go over the quiz question. We can do that." And so he's like reading the question now, like what episode are we in?
Yeah. Oh man. And then so
You know what would help Lex pay attention during his our pre-show meetings?
If he
Maybe
wrote things down, write them down, Lex.
you know
You
what?
told me- yeah, I
He
know.
needs some brain food. You know where you can get some brain food?
where?
Ike sandwiches. Sandwiches that will change your outlook on life because we're that good. Where's that pillow at? 500 amazing options. this blanket actually.
That one felt
It just starts like going around his neck.
I was like
500 amazing options. Vegetarian, meat, vegan, gluten-free. We got you. They have a purple heart on their Instagram. They have a lot of locations in Northern California, especially in the Bay Area, San Diego, LA area, Tempe, Las Vegas. I heard they opened some in Texas. I think I bring up their locations a lot, but I never bring up that they have some in Texas. So
They have one in Chino.
So if we have any Texas people out there, I know it's a very small state, so you could easily find
gets it.
the Ike's there. But
Yeah.
Ike sandwiches at www.
WWE.
www.
You hear that, Steven? He said-
www.loveandsandwiches.com at Ike's sandwiches.
What's the purple? You said they had a purple heart on
A
there.
purple heart.
They have a
I just
purple
said
heart in the
emoji.
description on Instagram. I just read their Instagram.
Oh,
Yeah.
Fourth
What's the
wall
purple,
break right there.
purple heart.
Well, Steven should know. He read it last episode.
Did
Come
you
on, man.
read it
That's
last episode?
You
Did I
that to me
tell you
last year.
that?
Did you do a good job?
Did I tell you that my favorite
Yeah.
sandwich is a Matt Cain?
Oh yeah, he was like my favorite sandwich is the Matt Cain. I was telling him like you read from the Bride script.
Side note, I took my boss to Ike's and he liked it. So,
Dope.
but I didn't tell him that I do a podcast. So I don't know if he's ready to see this.
Right? Yeah.
I'm
This side of
scared.
you.
Oh, I'm
Alright.
sorry. Like my normal side, my
My Nike logo is gonna be cricket when it's done being recorded, huh?
no, it's okay.
So I noticed that everything gets reversed.
Does it really?
Yeah.
reverse.
I don't know.
Reverse.
Maybe I'm just.
Crisscross.
Sneeze attack in 3, 2, 1.
Uh-oh. Ooh, that one's going on the
He woke up
yeah.
Jesse.
Jesse, dude, cover him up behind you.
Seriously, cool. Yeah, in the pre-show, I don't know why, but in the pre-show we started joking that like the reason I took so long to get on because like Jesse was like asleep in my bed or something. He's like facing the closet the other way, like he's like sound asleep. Like you see his like jacket, his motorcycle jacket draped over my headrest right there.
Let's get into the questions.
So we had a DM'd question of how awkward is it during an exam when your stomach starts singing the song of its people. And that was hilarious. And we
I
I
feel
think-
like this only happens with Lex.
it does. Yeah.
I honestly,
lot.
it does happen, but I think it's become such a thing that it's like it's not awkward. People just know you're hungry.
Yeah.
People just know you're a poor college student who's
Yeah.
looking for food.
Yeah.
Right.
And
You
I don't
know
know
what?
why.
So yeah, no, that's yours is
no.
probably more important.
I screamed out why. I was like, I don't know. But for some reason, if it's because I'm hungry, I'm not embarrassed because I could be like, if someone like looks and be like, oh, sorry, I gotta eat. Or for some reason,
you
if
failed the exam because you're talking now.
yeah. You there? They just like strike me down with a band hammer. But they banned me from class. But for some reason, if it's because I need to go to the restroom, for some reason, like mentally, like people could tell the difference. Like then I get embarrassed. I don't know why. It's a weird thing.
So
You don't want to shit your pants in your final, you know?
So let's put this in perspective. Before I have to do something that I feel like is something I take very seriously, is I choose not to eat beforehand. I know a lot of people say you should eat and
Not
have a
this
healthy
podcast.
breakfast. No, so I've been eating all day. But like if I have like a final and something, I don't want to have to take a crap mid-final because I don't know what that means for
You're great.
my grade. So I
Yeah.
choose not to eat. I choose to go in there on an empty stomach, and I'm doing okay in life, I think. So
Dude, like over the past 2 semesters, like in different teachers, different courses, during during the final exams of those 2 classes over the past year, like I've like literally like for some reason like specifically during that final halfway through I have to go to the restroom. It's like a complete emergency, even though like the whole semester I've been able to like do it throughout the classes, right? And I always feel so awkward because I get up like, oh man, like I get to the point like shortly into the exam. Like, no, I have to go. So like I just go to the teacher. It's cool if I just go to the restroom real quick. And like every time the teacher was just like, like you could totally want to say no, but like, just make it quick, like, cause, and they just give me those eyes, like I'm like going to like on Google in the restroom and stuff. I'm like, dude, like for real.
He's like,
was,
well,
the
hey
worst
man,
timing.
you're an adult. I would think you'd be able to go to the before class.
I know, that's why I don't know why every time I screw up.
Wear a
now, like,
diaper next time.
I've been playing with this rubber band the entire podcast or the Riff shirt, and I noticed I've been looking down at it a lot, and so it probably looks like I'm like asleep during your guys' conversation. I'm just like,
you just see Brian just like
Brian takes a week off, and now he comes back and he's too good for us.
Dude,
No.
it's that lineup on his beard, man.
No.
Seriously.
So next
Steven,
question.
oh yeah, I guess you already answered the question. All right.
Oh, my bad.
No,
Hey
you're good.
Steven.
Let's get
That's
through
cool.
this.
What do we have?
Your weak bowels embarrass me.
Is the Drake one next?
Drake, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what we're doing.
Is the Drake jinx real? I guess not. The Raptors won.
Can I tell you a pet peeve real quick?
Yes.
When random normal people post on their Instagram "Happy birthday" to celebrities. I'm sorry.
That's a pretty good pet peeve.
That's just a pet peeve of mine.
That's a pretty good. Oh, because Drake's birthday.
Yeah, I mean, like, we get it. It's his birthday, but like, do you think he's gonna go through everybody's Instagram and say thank you or anything? No.
That's pretty.
And then, that's how people felt when the awkward side gave you, wish you happy birthday. They're like, I'm tired of.
Yeah.
It's that way.
These Instagrams wishing celebrities happy birthday.
I'm just salty. I hope you guys don't have other pictures of me because there's some good ones.
Dude, no, I have a lot more.
Side note. Okay, can I ask you where you got them?
Do you really want to know?
Yeah.
I'm all like responding like it's a bad thing. No, okay. So I noticed.
Did you have them?
No, I noticed you have 2 Facebook profiles for some reason because I was just looking for old pictures. Yeah. I was looking for old pictures.
That's a good way of not cussing.
yeah.
I'm not a good way, but good job. Good job.
So because we're trying to be rated G here. Yeah. So real side note, real quick. I had 2 Twitter accounts, right? Mm-hmm. And one I made when I was like 19. And so this is when I was kind of excuse my French, but I was a fuckboy back then. And so like, I had a satchel, or I don't know what the hell I was doing.
Rated
G.
Like,
rated G for, never mind. So I don't know what I was doing, to be honest with you. Like, I don't know where I was going in life.
Yeah.
And so like, it took me like almost a whole month to get Twitter to take it down. And I had to send them like 4 copies of my driver's license.
Yeah.
And like, it was so hard to get it off. And finally it's off. And so like now, cause I had some pretty vulgar tweets on there.
Yeah.
Nothing like,
that's how I felt too, because
nothing like racist or anything like sex, nothing like that. But like I tweeted like bad words, or I tweeted like lyrics from a song.
Yeah.
And like, I put like, who's fucking like going out tonight or whatever, like some stupid ass shit, right? And so like I literally like, I thought like, damn, like if I'm gonna continue to like progress in my career, like like I don't want my boss or whoever's like interviewing me to go back and see those things.
Yeah. Especially if you could do something about it. Yeah.
See the freaking plaid shorts or plaid pants I was wearing, dude, and my satchel. So I know that picture's out there because once you put something on the internet, it never really gets erased. But
yeah.
So that's just my spiel on that. So beware of what you post.
Yeah. And it's funny because I have like a similar problem, but in a different arena. And this could, this could be problematic for like women who don't understand the situation. Like if they were like, I know that sounds horrible, right? I just turned into the bagel boss right now. I can't get a girlfriend. But no, I have a Facebook. No, not me actually. One of my exes has a Facebook profile that of when we were together, right? When we were in a relationship, and for whatever reason, it was like multiple reasons. It was like a multiple password, incorrect password attempt, blah blah. But there was multiple reasons.
Share one Facebook?
No.
She just still has the pictures on there.
Oh, she has the pictures of you on there.
It was when we were in a relationship together, right? Like
that's another pet peeve of mine.
Halfway into a relationship. And because of multiple reasons, like the password was locked, and then the profile is now forever locked. And so she had to start a new profile, and that's the profile that she uses today, I guess, in Facebook. So that old Facebook profile is still out
It's
there,
just
and it's
there.
like, yeah, and the thumbnail is like me and her on our first date, and like all types of statuses and posts of us. But
And let's just throw this out there since we're on topic. Is me and Lex have a whole catalog of saying inappropriate things on YouTube.
oh yeah, battle rap. Yep.
But I think for that, like, people have to actually sit there and listen through the whole thing, you know?
No, they
Yeah.
will.
No?
No, they
There's
will.
just there's
No,
I was gonna say
I mean they're like, if someone important needs to listen to that, then
Yeah, and it sucks because there's no context behind it. They don't know that battle rap was a community at the time where
And Lex has this thing. I'm sorry, Lex. I'm gonna just call you out there. We're like what's the word I'm looking for? Not naive. When people don't know things, like people,
like when
it is.
there's
I guess
like
naive.
it's like kind of like there's niche things,
Like,
and
I'm just saying it
people
because of
outside the niche don't understand.
right. Yeah, because the comment you just made of like people that aren't in battle rap don't know that there's bad things said in battle rap. Where like, so because Lex did this to me where he I made a suggestion for, like, the production of this podcast, and then Lex threw a low blow at me and hurt my feelings, right? And last episode I
we
said,
were
like,
also
this isn't
like just
serious.
arguing in general, I think.
But he said like, what do you know? You've never put out content. So so bad guy.
I
Shame on you.
I know. I'm sorry.
Shame on you.
That's funny. Now that's like a part of our inside jokes as well. Going back to the inside joke topic, like every time we're talking about the podcast, oh, should we do this? And Steve is like, I think we should do this, but I don't know. I've never done media.
So
and it makes you feel better, Steven. Last week I hit up Lex to make a birthday post for you, and I just told Lex, like, I think you're doing better, so you could do it, even though it was like totally my idea. And I just was maybe too lazy to follow through on it, so I made Lex do it.
Yeah.
I told him to send me a picture, and I was like, no, actually, you could do it.
Yeah. Just make the
so
post.
I'm I don't get on like Instagram I get on it like maybe once a day, like right before I go to sleep. I'll check everything throughout the day. So like in our Fortnite group chat, like you guys have like 20 things that I have to catch up on, right? And that's why I always reply at night. If you notice, like I reply at night to your stuff. And so like I get on Instagram and I see this picture of me, right? This picture is, I don't know, I was like 20. This picture of me from like, years back. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, who has this picture? Who posted this? Like, where did this come from? Like, I was so,
there's
so
many
scared.
More. Watch, I'll bring another one.
Well, is this good? All right. While we're doing that, isn't the next question the Drake's
equation?
Because we're getting into that.
Yeah, so somebody asked, what do we think of the Drake equation, or if we believe in the Drake equation? And I guess like you would have to somewhat believe in it if you believe. Okay, so let me take a step back.
What is the Drake equation?
So, there was this physicist. His name was Enrico Fermi, right? And one day in 1950, he was on his lunch break from making nuclear weapons, right? Nuclear bombs. And so he's having lunch with all the other scientists, and he asks them, where are they, right? And nobody knew what he meant. But what he meant was like, where are the other intelligent life forms, in this big universe, infinity, universe is the galaxy or galaxies, and all these galaxies in this infinite universe. Like, where is other intelligent life, right? So somebody tried to answer that question, which I don't know his first name, but his last name is obviously Drake. Mm-hmm. And so he came up with this equation, a very simple equation. And so this equation basically like gives you how many, or it's kind of a theory, more so a theory or a guess of how many other intelligent life forms there are. Damn, how many life forms there are in the universe, right?
Yeah.
And so basically, it's the number. So I'm just gonna go through it real quick. So, it's n to the sub s, right, which is the number of stars in our galaxy, right? So let's take the Milky Way, for instance. Mm-hmm. There's about 400 billion stars in the Milky Way, right? Obviously, other galaxies have more. Times F to the sub S, which is the fraction of stars that are suitable for a planetary system. So the sun, for instance, is a star, and we revolve around the star. So we have like our solar system. So it sustains a planetary system, right? And so that is times by F to the sub P, which is the right.
Several minutes later.
I know. I'm just doing this quick. Because people.
No, you're good.
This is very good, interesting stuff here.
Yeah.
So, because if we don't get to the last question, it's okay, right? It's a Trump question anyway. So F to the sub P, right, is a fraction. So a fraction of the planetary systems that are suitable for, or the fraction of stars that are suitable for a planetary system. Fiction, whatever, right? So that's that. Then that's times n to the sub E, which is the average number of planets that are located within the continuously habitable zone. So the continuously habitable zone is like, you know what that is, Lex? No?
I think those are like I think it might be related to the super Earths that I was like talking about like a couple episodes ago.
Right.
Where
so basically like
in range of the star that is the same range as Earth. Yeah.
Right. So like Earth, Mars, Venus, those are habitable planets. They're not too cold. They're not too hot. It's also known as the Goldilocks zone. So Mercury would be like too hot because it's the first planet right from the sun. And then like Pluto would be too cold because it's further away from the sun. So it wouldn't be able to sustain life.
Pluto's not a planet though.
Well, sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. It depends on the day. So you times that by F to the sub C, right?
If we were to ever make awkward side hug shirts, that should be like the awkward
That's
side
gotta
hug.
be one of the.
That'd be a good one, right?
Pluto sometimes is, sometimes is not a planet.
I'm trying to get this done in like 7 minutes.
Go for it. I love
so
that.
F to the sub C, right, which is the fraction of the planets that are in the habitable zone on which life actually originates. And so obviously, like right now, it would just be Earth, right? Because there's only life on Earth. And you times that by F to the sub I, which is fraction of the habitable planets in which after life is created, that some form of intelligent life arises. So basically, like, can we use tools? Can we like develop technology? Like, that not that simple, like a cell, because technically like a cell is life, but like that intelligent life. And then that's times F to the sub C, which is a fraction of the intelligent species that develop the ability and desire to communicate with other civilizations. So for instance, like we want to communicate with aliens, right? Or other life forms and other planets. And then lastly, that is times by F to the sub W, which is a fraction of the intelligent species that develop the ability and desire to communicate with other civilizations that actually are communicating. So those who actually go the distance, build the technology, and reach out to those other civilizations wherever, or life forms wherever they are. So basically, when you add all this stuff up, and some of these numbers here are just guesses, conservative guesses. Like obviously, we don't know how many planets in, let's say, the Milky Way galaxy are in the habitable zone. Like besides what we have in our, in our planetary system. So basically when you do all the guessing and guesswork, like you come up with, or the number that this person came up with in my research, they came up with 1 million civilizations in just our galaxy alone that are capable of interstellar communication, which means like communicating with another life form. So all in all, is there, or do I believe in the Drake theory? I think you have to kind of believe it if you believe in other life forms other than just humans here on Earth.
It kind of puts a mathematical way of looking at stars and their relationship. Before we continue, Lex should do the ad.
Where else can you talk about the Drake equation?
No.
Vital Pomona. They have tables there and plugins where you can like sit down, plug in your laptop, and just research the Drake equation a little more. But they also have gifts. Vital Pomona. We believe everyone has a gift. Some just need help finding it. You can catch Vital Pomona at WWE.com. I'm just kidding. www.
www.
I said like 5 W's right there. .vitalpomona.com or at Vital Pomona on Instagram. They are located at 266 West 2nd Street, Pomona, California. Vital Pomona, get you some.
Okay, so
Real quick, just a side topic though, because since we're talking about like life and everything, because I got into a YouTube wormhole. But how about the concept of time?
That's
time is like time. Does time exist?
So today I took my girlfriend's car to get her oil changed, and I was sitting down. This is this is weird, but I was looking out the window, and there was a spider, and there was a bunch of webs and a bunch of flies caught or bugs caught, and I was thinking about it. I'm like, it's interesting because a bug's lifetime is so much shorter, but I was like, if you think about it, like I guess like compared to their lifetimes, or like let's just use a dog for example, like dog years and stuff like that, their lives are much shorter than ours. But it's interesting because we all live, I guess, within the same time frames, right?
constructive time, yeah.
Right. Like a minute for us is also a minute for them. So like I don't know, I could be wrong. I'm not a scientist, but like I think like flies live to only be like 24 hours a day. Like their lifetime is 24 hours roughly, or maybe 1 or 2 days. That's crazy because to us that's such a short amount of time. But to them, that's their whole lifetime.
But
I might be wrong, but
I'm gonna throw this curveball back at you because you're talking like to us, like our point of view, like that's a short period of time. But then that goes back to, does time really exist? Because if time doesn't exist, is it really a short period of time for them, or is it just their whole life?
Dude, I saw like a quote like on dogs too that like maybe like tear up, is like, remember like a dog may be a part of your life, but to them you're their whole life. And I was like, and then I went and hugged Tum Tum. But can I preview guys since I was looking for a good gold picture from Steven's Throwback Thursday days.
Speaking of time.
Yeah, speaking of time, I'll debut what
time doesn't exist with these pictures.
Our thumbnail for this episode.
That's a good one.
You like that?
That phone.
Do the phone selfie mirror.
I'm
Halloween.
so embarrassed right now. I gotta admit, like, I am so embarrassed.
Quick question.
I'm sorry. Real quick with that picture, I sent a video. I think that's when I first started dating my wife, my now wife.
Yeah.
Like I had 2 wives. No, like so. And I sent her a video where I looked at the camera and I said, "I like turtles." So just a little side note for that picture.
Well, with that picture, that's hilarious.
With that picture, yeah.
That's
the only reason I got that picture is because that video was popular at that time.
That's hilarious.
That's why I got that.
That's combining. That's combining that. That was the season. That was the season finale moment to our first episode.
Yep.
All right. Well, that was awkward.
Awkward.